The East African Development Bank was established in 1967 under the Treaty of the East African Community between Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. The bank, which is headquartered in Kampala, Uganda, is one of the few surviving institutions set up under the auspices of the old East African Community in 1977. Currently, the four of the EAC countries, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania and Rwanda, each own shares into the bank independently. The four countries are rated as Class A countries with a net capital input of $184 million US. Other financial institutions rated as Class B own $20.8 million US, bringing the total outlay of $205 million US.
The summit directive implies that the East African Development Bank is not within the purview of the East African community in the strict sense, because in 1980, a charter of the East African Development Bank was signed. And in that charter, if you read it, it excludes the East African Development Bank from the treaty and even opens its ownership, its shareholding, to private holders.
Documents currently before the Regional Assembly indicates that Kenya owns 25%, Tanzania 25%, Uganda 25%, and Rwanda 14.8%, totaling to 89% into the bank.
89% of this bank. We don't need any further clarification. It is right there.
Thank you.
And we are the ones holding the voting rights. Therefore, it is our responsibility to oversight this institution.
The treaty establishing the East African Community confirms that the East African Development Bank is a surviving institution of the former East African Community and is deemed as an institution of the community.
Article 9 defines the East African Development Bank as one of the surviving institutions of the community and therefore is a de facto institution of this community.
The regional legislators acknowledge that the East African Development Bank is an institution of the community as stipulated in the treaty and are calling for the Council of Ministers to take over the bank.
Because you cannot say this is a treaty of the community signed by the heads of state after having been perused by attorney generals of relevant partner states, and it reads that way, and then now you say this is not an institution of the community.
If this institution is owned by East Africans, confirmed today, why can't we have that mandate to cross-check on how it's run?
I therefore want to urge the ministers really to pick keen interest in this bank. And there is no way we can have East African Development Bank using the name of the bank, having more shareholders being East Africans, and working on its own without the involvement of the council.
But as the regional legislators push for the bank to be reinstated as an institution of the community, the Regional Assembly has received a petition from one Peter Odhiambo Agoro accusing the bank management of gross mismanagement.
Those allegations, broadly speaking, are looking at things like institutional capture by some managers of the bank. It also looks at things like money laundering.
And upon scrutiny, it was revealed that the said work was not undertaken by the Lake Turkana wind power project, or rather, it was a fictitious claim because no job was done.
They accused the bank management of failing to pay dividends to its shareholders in the last 10 years, as per the December 2023 financial statement of the bank.
Have not received dividends from EADB since this CEO assumed office in 2009.
Following these grave allegations against the bank, the lawmakers have set up an investigation by the Committee on Legal, Rules and Privileges.
We received the petition and referred it to the Committee on Legal, Rules and Privileges, which is supposed to probe the matter and to give fair hearing to all sides.
They also want the Council of Ministers to institute measures to ensure that the bank is reinstated as a community institution with partner states having the majority shares.
We have to go to the drawing board and see what we have to do to make it
a surviving organ of the EAC as per the shareholding and the treaty as it is now. Our document shows by itself the complications we have. No one is disputing that Article 9 makes it the surviving organ.
Jjingo Francis, NTV.